Good morning, one and all, and let me welcome you guys to the first and foremost episode of Tinex Presents The Untold Stories, where we are going to learn about famously infamous people, companies, and incidents which has taught us throughout the history of how big things come to an end as fast as possible if they are not taken care of. And in today's episode, we are going to be learning about the Asia's first and largest tire manufacturing company, which is the Dunlop. Situated in a very small town of Vandal in the state of West Bengal, let us learn about how this big and massive company has came to its demise and to the ends and ruins which we can see today as here.
Chase the dark to find the light. The untold story screams so loud. Truth is hidden in the cloud.
John Boyd Dunlop, the man who is a revolt in himself, from taking a look at his son's tricycle Tough Tire to investing the world's first pneumatic tire with an air cushioning system. Starting his journey with tires in 1888 and understanding the market needs, J.B. Dunlop established the Dunlop Pneumatic Tires Co. Limited, patenting his invention of the pneumatic tire. With the growing demand in the market, Dunlop opened its first tire plant in Dublin and the first factory in Birmingham, UK, marking the onset of commercial productions of Dunlop tires in 1890.
As the business grew, Dunlop had developed the hot place of business at that particular time. And yes, it is India.
डनलप है अंग्रेज के अमूल का है जो फैक्ट्री में हम लोग का इलाका वासी का नाश था अभी देखिए क्या हालत अब देख सकते हैं इसका नजारा देख सकते हैं क्या है अभी
Dunlop India Limited established the first and the biggest tire manufacturing facility in Asia in 1936. Dunlop set up the massive facility, acquiring 239 acres of land in Shahaganj, Bandel. The massive land included employee quarters, tennis ground, schools, fire brigade, and many more things. Together, they named it the Dunlop Estate. The Dunlop Estate alone had more facilities than the whole country of India.
सेकंड मॉरिशस हुगली डिस्ट्रिक्ट का ये मॉरिशस कहा जाता था। इतना बढ़िया सुई फेंक दीजिए तो सुई भी बीन लेता था आदमी। इतना ज़्यादा परिष्कार और परिछिंदो ये डनलप स्टेट था।
Sahaganj Tire Facility proved to be one of the best investment of Dunlop. It doesn't only expand the existing business, rather it pioneered the manufacturing of airplane tires, cycle tires and rims, pneumatic tires for the bullock carts and many more. Dunlop captured 1/3 of the market at that time, not only tires but several different rubber products. Dunlop's Sahaganj plant was not only a benefit for them but also for the people. Dunlop Sahaganj plant alone employed around 12,000 people. This plant had a specialized monopoly in earth movers and aero tires in the country. Seeing the growing demands and opportunities in the market in a few years, in 1959, Dunlop set up its second plant in India at Ambattur near Chennai.
Everything was going fine for Dunlop. Growing initiatives, growing market sale rates, growing share market ratios, and also having a monopoly on their country. But still, why did Dunlop had to face such a tragic demise end in especially a plant which they had always considered as their lucky charm? Let us move forward towards knowing how this massive industry, which is also known as the Dunlop tire industry, also known as the queen of the tires, had came to such a tragic ending which we are seeing here today.
प्लेन में जो जहाज का जो चक्का बनता है वो बनता था, भी बेल्ट बनता था, स्कॉट बेल्ट बनता था, जो साइकिल का रिंग से लेकर के सब चीज बनता था, ट्यूब टायर सब चीज बनता था यहाँ पर। ये कंपनी को हम लोग अपना बचपन से देख रहे हैं कि 97-98 में आकर के बंद हो गया। अब मेरा पिताजी 2004 में रिटायर किए यहाँ से।
Dunlop has multiple sale units, factories, and plants in several countries, making it a monopoly. But then the monopolies and restrictive price commissions forced some pricing changes for Dunlop. In the early 60s, Dunlop opted for the cheaper textile radial tires than the steel-belted radial tires to adjust with these price changes. But the British car industry didn't like it at all. They declined the steel-belted radial tires, but that was not the end. In 1973, oil crisis compounded matters. Dunlop started losing markets. As its business declined, it started selling off many of its companies in several countries, including that in India. In September 1983, the Japanese company Sumitomo, a former subsidiary, bought Dunlop's European business, and that was the beginning of Dunlop's end. In 1984, Manu Chabaria, the Dubai-based Indian businessman, arrived in India as a corporate trader. He picked up a controlling stake in association with the RP Goenka's RPG Group in Dunlop India Limited, which was then ailing. He subsequently took single-handed control of the company and promised to resume all operations. Manu Chabaria's takeover didn't likely solve any problems, rather it accelerated. The Sahganj factory faced major hurdles. First, with the 97-day strike by the trade union in 1988, people say that the Communist Party worker unions had a major role in the demise of Dunlop India's Sahganj plant. Workers crafted a not very generous plan and they stopped working finally in the working hours and started doing overtime purposely to get extra wages for overtime. It may have benefited them but not the company.
गोयनका चलाया था थोड़ा साल, इसका बाद आ गया छबारिया मालिकाना चलते चलते 98 में कारखाना वर्क सस्पेंशन किया.
Problems accelerated when in the early 90s, with the conflicting vision and strategies of the professional managers and owners for falling fortunes on the company, several top executives, including the managing director Muralidhar Shukla, left the company. In 1998, the unfortunate management of Dunlop moved the BIFR for registration as a sick company. When one pillar falls, the other pillars automatically start to look weak. And that's what happened to Dunlop. Slowly, all doors started closing for Dunlop. With Manu Chabaria's demise, Pawan Kumar Ruia purchased Dunlop from the Chabaria family's Jumbo Group. At that time of takeover, the plant of Sahganj was closed and employed 2,700 workers. Workers were standing there with the hope that someday Sahganj factory will start again and their lives will come into a stable track. During their acquisitions, Sahganj tar plant remained closed. There were multiple attempts of restarting the operations, including the ones in 2008, 2011, 2014. In 2007, Dunlop was taken out by BIFR by the Ruia to reopen the plants, but the destiny wanted something else. On 30th May 2024, after 125 years of operation, Birmingham's Dunlop plant was closed. Sahganj's production never started commercially since the takeover by Ruia Group, and its utilization of production capacity remained below 20% throughout the short periods of operation by the new management since 2009. This unit has been without any operation since 2011 of October upon declaration of the suspension of work without obtaining any permission from the state government. The state government sanctioned sales tax loan, waived electrical duty and accorded relief undertaking status to the company from time to time, spanning over 2009 to 2015 in consideration of the revival process containing settlement of dues from employees and government and plan for reopening the Sahganj unit of the company. But again, Ruia Group operated Dunlop failed to settle all the dues. March 2012, the Honourable Company Court and High Court at Calcutta directed for winding up of the company, which was upheld by the Division Bench of the High Court at Calcutta. Special leave petitions arising out of the order in 2013 passed by the Division Bench were subsequently dismissed by the Honourable Supreme Court of India. In its order dated 29/7/2016, on the basis of the representation received from the employees, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce visited Dunlop in the first week of January 2015. As the Ruia management failed to implement any revival packages for Sahganj unit and failed to settle dues of the employees, the statutory due and the dues to the state government and its agencies, the state government passed the Dunlop India Limited Bill in 2016 in the Legislative Assembly to revive the company to ensure manufacturing, production and distribution of automobile tires and tubes, including aero tires, which are essential to the needs of the nation. In 2017, the official liquidator took possession of Shahganj factory of Dunlop.
पहले था मार्क्सवादी कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ज्योति बाबू का सरकार था, वहीं से इसका डामाडोल चल रहा था, बंद खोला बंद खोला बंद खोला किधर ठीक बोलছি তো। তারপর ममता दी इस मार्क्सवादी कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी सरकार गिराने के लिए यहाँ धरना का मंच किया था, जब फैक्ट्री आराम से चले। जब ममता बनर्जी आया तो फैक्ट्री लूट लिया पूरा।
So well, some people till date are still in that thought process that this company might open back and they will get their old jobs and professions back. Whereas, not only some, but most of the people have already moved on, started new professions and are dealing a better way in their lives. Well, practically speaking, this place of land is never gonna get open again. Not as in Dunlop. But other than that, this huge acre of land can be used for multiple other resources as well as industry making. Let's say for example some new companies, new industries, societies, housing, camping and whatever. We never know about that. Thank you everyone for staying tuned with us throughout the episode. Well, goodbye for now. We are going to meet again in a new episode and a new tragedy. Till then, goodbye.
Chase the dark to find the light. The